In this game, I think the Giants are going to win. Yo, Velez, who you got in the game between the Giants and the Cowboys? Who you got in that game?
I'm taking the Cowboys on this one. I am. I'm looking at the quarterback now. Get that man the whole salary cap beyond. He got. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Okay, so you got the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys. M Unique, who you got in that game between the Cowboys and the Giants? Who you got in that game?
I got the Giants.
You said you got the Giants. Okay. So I'm going to mark you down as the Giants. And Deca-Gon, who you got in the game between the Giants and the Cowboys? Who you got in that game? Uh-oh, hold on. The audio went out. One more time. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Because I'm not getting you on the radio.
We should all pick with M Unique. See
Hey, but let's go. Let's be real about this game.
Hold on.
Defense. All right, and Big D has no D. Dak is going to have to ball out. And G-Men, they're going to run it. And Dallas can't stop them. New York, they're the slow ill.
Dak, he got to turn this around.
Boys lose. So, I'm not going to pick again.
Right now, I'm going to go with the G-Men, too.
So you picking the Giants? Okay, first class, who you got between the Cowboys and the Giants? Who you got in that one?
I don't know. To listen to all y'all, I think Dallas is going to surprise everybody. I think they're going to surprise everybody because, like you said, they needed more. So I think they're going to dig deep and pull it out.
Yeah. I think if they played like 10 times, Dallas would beat them all 10. Atlanta's playing the Saints. Saints just came off a game where they could have won it but lost against the Eagles. Falcons, same thing against the Chiefs. Both of them had tough games last week. In this game, I think the Saints going to bounce back and get the W. Who you got in the game, Velez, between the Saints and the Falcons? Who you got in that one?
I'm taking the Saints. I like what they're doing this year. It's like their last year premiere, but I see they increased on a lot of their coaching staff as far as their plays, and their O-line's looking good, and their four-man front looking good. So, I'm looking at, and they got young talent. So, I got to go with the Saints on this one. Falcons, I got to go with the Saints.
Who you got, M Unique, Falcons or Saints?
I got the Falcons.
Okay. Deca-Gon, who you got, Falcons or Saints?
Bad, man. See, this messed me up. But no. No, I feel like they evenly matched for real. All right? But right now, I don't trust the car they riding with. Feel me? As far as the Saints, man, I don't. And I think the O in ATL is a little bit better than the Saints right now, for real. Only thing, I think the Saints have a slightly better defense than the Falcons. You know what I mean? What is it? Ganderson's and Bursay, they're going to have a good game. They're going to get home, man. So I'm going to have to say, I got to say the Saints because they got a slightly better defense.
Now I'll say this. Carr, he looked amazing the first 2 weeks. Then he took a real big hit in that first couple series against Philly, and that kind of threw his shit off. It reminded me of Steve Young when he would take big-ass hits, and then he would see ghosts the rest of the game. First class, who you got in the game between your Saints and the Atlanta Falcons?
I was about to say, you kind of already know that because you know where I got to go. But, I'm hoping for us to win. But I'm not sleeping on the Falcons because they definitely made some improvements in the offseason. But I'm hoping we pull it out, so. That's obvious.
Now these two teams here both have incredible defenses. At least last week they started off pretty good. The Broncos are playing the Jets. Broncos got a rookie quarterback. Jets have a senior citizen at quarterback. I'm picking the Jets in this game. Who you got in the game, Velez, between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos?
Taking the Jets.
Who you got, M Unique? Jets or Broncos?
The Jets.
Deca-Gon, who you got? New York or Denver?
Hey, yo, let me say something about it, all right? This should be a good one. And you just talked about the senior citizen, but yo, Buck Rogers is throwing lasers at everybody.
Rogers.
Yo, if you open it, it's coming your way. He got no favorites right now. He hit like 8 dudes last game. All right, so, that said, though, the Orange Crush, it ain't as flat as I thought. That thing's popping. You know what I mean? And I think they're going to get home on rides. And like I told you, defense wins games, not just championships. I know this ought to be a thing where we watching that boy at 40 stunting. It's going to be a thing with the Broncos D stunting that boy's game. Denver wins.
Who you got first class, Denver or Jets?
Hey, you can't argue with it, but I got to go with the veteran. I can't trust this rookie yet. I think the coach is pulling all his strings, and he's just a young puppet out there. So I'm gonna go with old Buck Rogers.
Now we got another game. We got another game with a rookie quarterback. I mean, he played a little bit last year, but then he got hurt, so he didn't play the whole season. Indianapolis Colts facing against Deca-Gon's Pittsburgh Steelers, and Pittsburgh Steelers, they are holding their opponents to 8 points a game right now this year in 2024. That is fucking really good defense. I mean, that's outstanding. So I'm picking the P team here, Pittsburgh all the way. Velez, who you got between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis Colts?
I'm taking Pittsburgh. Come on now.
Okay, M Unique, who you got?
Steelers, and they from Pitsy. I still like teams from Pitsy. I'm a Pitsy boy.
Who you got? M Unique, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Steelers, or Indianapolis Colts?
The Steelers.
Who you? Oh, Deca-Gon. I had it in pencil. Should I write it in pen? You got Pittsburgh.
You may as well stop saying that. We ain't looking past nobody. I mean, the Colts are better. The Colts is better in every area of offense. They are, no bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm talking about better passing, rushing, overall offense. You know what I mean? But what I've been saying, I bleed black and gold. Born and raised in the 412. Norm of the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? What was created near the Three Rivers 50 years ago has been recreated. It's purpose for the Colts. And they made a steal. We're the number 1 defense in the National Football League. Look it up. Defense wins games, not just championships. I told you. You know what I mean? Steelers going to remain undefeated, but visiting them boys next door. Not who's there. What? I said who's there. What?
TJ Watt. First class, who you got between the Colts and the Watts?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not even gonna be a close game, man. I just think they're just gonna I think they're just gonna stomp all over them. Like long as Justin Fields will if he turned the ball over, they can make it a game, but I don't think it's gonna be a game at all. So yeah, Steelers flat out.
And where you calling from, first class, the Blast? Where you calling from? Where you at right now?
I'm in Baltimore.
And the Bills are going to Baltimore this weekend. I got Baltimore in a close one, but it's going to be a hell of a game because, defense wins games, not just championships, as Deca-Gon alluded to many a times. And the Bills, man, they could put up a 40-piece real quick. The Bills ain't no joke, but I got Baltimore here in this one. Velez, who you got between the Baltimore Ravens, the new home of first class, Baltimore, or Buffalo Bills? Who you got in that one?
Man, you already know I'm taking the Ravens.
Who you got, M Unique, Baltimore or Buffalo?
The Ravens.
Deca-Gon, who you got, Ravens or Bills?
God, man, I got to go with that defense, right? And the defense, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ravens is number 1 in offense, but the defense really does belong to the Mafia. So I got to go with the Bills, man.
Oh, shit, you had me confused. Okay, so you going with the Bills.
They got the better offense, believe it or not.
Who you got first class? Your new home city?
I mean, defense. I'm at defense. I'm sorry.
I heard you. I got you. So Bills got the better defense. Who you got first class, Bills or Ravens?
The Bills. The Bills got they throwing the ball everywhere, and the Ravens' offense is stale. So yeah, I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah.
Now the Seattle Seahawks are playing the Detroit Lions. Ooh, this is a good game. Two top of the division NFC matchup teams. The NFC West leaders going up against the NFC North leaders. And both of these teams is tough. I don't know who to pick, but Goff sure does like to give out gifts like his name was Kirk Cousins. So I'm going with the Seahawks on this one because of all the gifts that Goff like to hand out. Who you got, Valesse, between the Lions and the Seahawks?
You know I'm taking the Lions. Come on now.
Okay. M.
You know I
Unique,
like Lions.
who you got in the game between the Lions and the Seahawks?
I got the Seahawks.
Okay.
She's going to be bird food.
Deca-Gon, who you got between the Seahawks and the Lions?
I think it's gonna be a hell of a game, man. I mean, for real, they about evenly matched. No joke, except for like in rushing. All right, but Lions should win, but I'm not going against him unique again. If she says Seahawks, I'm saying Seahawks too, right?
Okay, and I know Clay B, shout out to Clay B clothing line. Clay B, one of Red's cousins, is a big Seahawks fan. Who you got between your cousins' team, the Seahawks, and Detroit Lions? Who you got in that one, first class?
I like what my man just said earlier, the Seahawks, because of the Lions don't have a rushing attack, and you can't win. You one-dimensional. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Minnesota came out of nowhere this year with a backup quarterback who found something in Minnesota. Man, Sam Darnold is lighting up the scoreboard all crazy, and they're playing against Green Bay, who also has a backup quarterback and is also winning with that backup quarterback. When is it going to strike medianoche for Cinderella and these two backup quarterbacks? Midnight, and they go back to regular programming. I don't know, but I got Minnesota winning this game. Valesse, who you got between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers?
Packers.
Who you got, M. Unique?
The Vikings.
Who you got, Deca-Gon?
Vikings, man. Defense.
First class, who you got, Green Bay or Vikings?
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings. I think they got the better edge right now.
Whole lot of M's. If these were millions, we'd be rich. Okay, so we got the Bears playing against my team, the South Central LA Rams. And the Bears got this new quarterback. He's not really doing too good so far, but he hasn't had a chance to throw to Keenan Allen yet, you know what I mean, which is supposed to be one of his best players. I think the Bears are still trying to figure it out. I was picking against my team last week, and they actually won against the 49ers. That was crazy. I'm picking my team, man, the Rams, to win this one here. Valesse, who you got between the Bears with Caleb Williams and the LA Rams?
I'm taking DJ Greenguy.
Okay. M. Unique, who you got between LA? Huh?
What?
M. Unique, who you got between?
I'm taking DJ Greenguy. Where you living at?
I'm living right here, man. This is where the greatest view of the cheerleaders is at, right here in SoCal, baby.
You already know. So LA, you already know I'm taking Rams.
So M. Unique, who you got between the Rams and the Bears?
I got the Rams.
Who you got, Deca-Gon?
All the time.
Hey man, I gotta pick the Rams. Don't that only because the Bears find a way to lose games, and they got the better defense between the two teams. Kid you not? They should. The Bears should win this one for real. They should finally get it going and win this one. They both 1-2, but I gotta go with the Rams. I just gotta. This is where I'm living right now, so I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Who you got first class, Rams or Chicago?
I gotta go with the Rams. The Bears, they're not doing anything offensively. They just hoping the defense can hold them, but it's like that's not enough. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Last year, Baker Mayfield ended Philadelphia's playoff run, and he was a free agent after doing that. And then he almost ended up in Atlanta and turned around and went right back to Tampa Bay. And they're playing the Eagles again this weekend. Some might say it's a revenge game, but I don't think A.J. Brown's going to play. So it's not really the same players, so I couldn't call it a revenge game for Philly against the Bucks. It really matters to me who's going to show up. Jalen Carter from last week, who got Carr kind of shell-shocked, or the other Jalen Carter, who was like on the back of a milk carton next to Embiid most of the NBA playoffs. So I think I'm going with Tampa Bay. I see him finding his way back to the milk carton. Who you got in this game between the Bucks and the Eagles, Velez?
You already know. Philly all day.
Okay. M Unique, you still Philadelphia IA over there, or should I put Tampa next to your name?
You know.
Okay. Deca-Gon, who you got? Philly or Tampa?
I mean, you picked against your home squad again. Did you just do that?
I sure did.
I
I picked against them every pick so far this year.
Oh my goodness. No, I bet y'all don't know. Any given Sunday, right? So them ball birds and feather hats, it could go either way, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. This is gonna be a blowout. Heard me? Okay. It's both these are like evenly matched, and that means they're both just above mediocre. But with that said, it's gonna be about the size and caliber of the offensive weapons on the other side, right? And that, man, okay. The Eagles is gonna blow them out. Period. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna see a blowout.
Wow.
Saquon Barkley will not be stopped.
Saquon Barkley's been having a great year with the. What that'd be nice. Who you got first class? Eagles or Tampa?
I'm going with Tampa Bay because they're going to be one-dimensional. Their receivers are hurt, and they only got a running game. So neither one of them receivers are playing, and they're going to double up on the tight ends, and they're going to put 8 in the box for Saquon. So I think Tampa Bay going to shock everybody.
I think the 49ers are going to win against New England. I would be surprised if New England gets another win this year. I know they beat the Bengals in week 1, but I got a big 4 next to my name between the New England Patriots and the 49ers. Velez, who you got in the game here between the Niners and the Patriots?
49ers.
M Unique, you got the Niners or the Patriots?
I got the Patriots.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Who you got, Deca-Gon? Patriots or Niners?
Hey, yo, that just scared me. You know she's been crushed now, dog. But I can't go. I got to go with the Niners, man. Defense and offense? Come on, man. I got to go with the Niners.
There's one thing that may throw this whole pick out, and I just want to give it to y'all before we write down Deca-Gon's pick. I saw today that Brock Purdy is listed day-to-day with a back injury. Now, that could be some bullshit. He might play. He's been playing every game this, season. But with Brock Purdy out, that would give M Unique that pick. I think that backup ain't winning. They got too many other backups at all these other positions. A lot of their team is hurt. And, the left tackle who's everything was hurt a couple times against the Rams last week too. So you still got the 49ers there?
Damn. that does change it because their defense is almost evenly matched, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For real. Oh, man. I still say the 49ers going to win at home.
Yeah. Who you got first class? New England?
For me, I feel like longest Trent Williams is playing the Niners, if Purdy can play, if he can suit up, they can beat the Patriots. But Trent Williams got to play because I saw that game, and when Trent Williams went out, he had all these issues. He couldn't see. He was getting bum rushed. So if that offensive line is good, that's why he's injured. But if he plays and Trent Williams plays, they can beat the Patriots.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. All right, well, that was week 4 NFL picks. Before we get out of here, we'll get a little round of shout-outs. We'll start with our special guest, first class. You got any shout-outs before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to everybody on the panel. Everybody did their norm. I'm glad to be a part of it, and hopefully be able to compete against y'all because it looks like y'all going at it. Yeah, much love to everybody.
For Velez, you got any shout-outs before we get out of here?
You know my normal grace, mercy, and peace be bestowed upon all. May we all prosper in our day-to-day lives and see betterment for everything that we are striving to be and where we need to go with our goals. May that the riches of knowledge and wisdom and understanding, love, compassion be spread amongst all, and those who may or may not, gotta give those everything that is good of you because it makes a better part of you.
That's beautiful. M Unique, you got any last words for the show?
I'm glad to be.
Don't be shy.
I'm glad to be on here and listening to y'all, listening to y'all and having the picks.
Deca-Gon, you want to sign us off?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate everything that Valeska said, and you know what I mean, and everybody. Like, I want to also say too, big ups to the panel and everything for real, and DJ Greenguy for putting this on again, and pick up my book on that note because he went spiritual on me again. Like, okay, so pick up my book. Go to Amazon.com/Arthur/VJVEEJAY and grab my book. So,
It's a great book. It's a fun read. And I have a physical copy at my house, but I've read it as well before it came out. I was privileged enough to check it out. And it's worth at least one read. But after you read it once, you might run and read it again. That's how good it is, man. On that note, we out of here. That book, by the way, is called In Via the Way. And it is a spiritual manual. Let me do it the right justice, though. Deca-Gon, you want to add anything to that description?
I mean, you were saying it all perfect. For real, you really did. And ain't nothing better than hearing somebody who's actually read it talk about it. So you were saying that perfectly, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. It is a spiritual manual. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a how-to. A how-to, that's why it's a very short read. You know what I mean? The product is 10 pages of that, and then 10 pages of troubleshooting after you're done understanding exactly what you have in your hand. So, you know what I mean? It's just really 20 pages for real. Even the book is like 50, but there's a glossary in there and all this other stuff. So, but it's just a manual. That's a spiritual manual, and I appreciate it the way you said it. So,
yeah, it's nice. a beautiful read. Anybody from any age, anybody from any background, and anybody from any belief background could read it and appreciate it because it doesn't close your mind to anything. It opens your mind to everything, and that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? There's no limits. You know what I mean? And if you're moving with love, that's the best way to move. That's how I feel in a spiritual way. But on that note, man, shout out to all the homies all over across the map, East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. We're looking forward to this week's NFL games, and we'll see how we did on the picks. See y'all next time. One thou wow.